For everyone and anyone on the Zoom call, my name is Gregory King. I'm an associate professor of dance at Kent State University. Kent is in Ohio. Yes, Ohio. And I always say that with such disdain, but no, I'm really excited about this session, this project. Just a little bit of background. This is the fourth in the series. We've had one came in from Peru. We've had Jack from New Zealand. We've had Umeshi from Sri Lanka, and now we're really super excited to have Diana from Colombia. I want to thank the Thinking Dance community. I want to thank Critical Minded for this grant. And I would like to thank Jorge, who will be doing the interpretation for this session. I'd like to thank Deanna, who is going to be leading the session. And I would like to thank Lauren, who will be writing about this session for Thinking Dance. Like I said, this is fourth in the series, and just a little bit of background and context. As a dancer, as a dance artist, as a writer, I've oftentimes struggled with this idea of decolonization, decoloniality, and dance. How does that show up? How does that show up in my body? How does that show up in my practice? How does that show up in my classrooms? And so when I got this grant, I wanted to explore what it looked like in different spaces around the world. And so I'm really, really super excited that I was able to bring together 5 artists from 5 different places. And if you haven't checked out the writings from the previous sessions, please do so on Thinking Dance. We'll share the links with you. But what's really exciting and really fulfilling is that it shows up differently for everyone in different ways. And that's the conversation that I'm really, really interested in having. And so before I go any further, I'm just going to turn it over to Deanna and Jorge so that they can start this session to unpack and to dive deep. Deanna, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. I'm really happy and excited for this invitation to be here and sharing a bit about our work of embodying reconciliation, Cuerpos para la Reconciliación. I see some Spanish speakers as well as English speakers. So we think with Jorge that to facilitate this space, the better thing to do is that I will be speaking Spanish and Jorge will be translating immediately. Is that okay for everybody?
Yes.
Okay. Entonces, bueno, para mí es un honor estar acá. Mi nombre es Diana Gutiérrez, soy de Colombia y vengo a compartir un poquito, una pequeña muestra del trabajo que venimos haciendo en Cuerpos para la Reconciliación con diferentes comunidades marginadas alrededor del país.
Hello, everybody. I am Diana. I am from Colombia, and I am so honored to be here. I will be sharing a little sample of the work that we do with the communities in my country.
Entonces, básicamente un taller de movimiento tiene como una estructura para nosotros de 5 momentos. Lo primero es como entrar en el cuerpo, no hablar como con la voz, sino con el cuerpo, conocernos a través del cuerpo. En un segundo momento hacemos un proceso como de movimiento creativo para conectar con algunas preguntas y emociones. En tercer momento, entonces tratamos de como darle sentido o representar de diferentes maneras ese movimiento creativo. En un cuarto momento exploramos un ejercicio creativo en grupo y en un quinto momento siempre hay un cierre porque es importante hablar, cerrar ese espacio que se abre sobre las preguntas que emergen, sobre las sensaciones, las emociones que aparecen.
So this will be a movement-based workshop with 5 different parts. At the beginning, we will be working with non-verbal communication. The second part will be an exploration of creating movement. The third part will be an opportunity to re-signify the movement that we are exploring. The fourth part will be an exploration that we will be doing in groups. And finally, we will have a closure to wind things down.
Para, digamos, el espacio de hoy, escogí el tema del encierro, porque creo que es algo que nos atraviesa a todos. Y la pregunta que guiará este espacio y que espero que la tengamos muy presente es: ¿qué significa tener una experiencia en movimiento, una experiencia corporal del encierro?
So for today, we have chosen the topic of confinement. We want to do this workshop around the bodily experiences that we've been having in confinement. This is something that is very present that will be throughout the session.
Bueno, entonces sin más preámbulos, para los que quieran, muy bienvenidos a prender sus cámaras. Vamos a entrar en la primera sesión de movimiento sin hablar, para lo cual Jorge me va a estar apoyando con unas pequeñas instrucciones.
So this is about to start. Please feel comfortable to turn your camera on in case you are able to do so, and we will be moving on with some basic premises.
Jorge, ¿me ayudas compartiendo la pantalla?
Super.
Voy a poner aquí audio. Entonces, la idea es aprender 5 movimientos muy sencillos y luego lo vamos a poner juntos en una pequeña coreografía.
So basically, we will be working with some little movements that we will be learning that afterwards will be employed to create a small composition.
¿Está claro para todos?
Is it clear for everybody what we're about to do?
Listo.
Ahí estamos.
Si quieren prender las pantallas, bienvenidos, las cámaras.
If you're able to turn your camera on, please be free to do so. And we go to the first movement. This will be feeling the beat o sintiendo el ritmo. Para quienes están haciendo esta actividad en español, vamos a arrancar con este primer movimiento llamado sentir el beat. For those of you that are doing this workshop in English, this first movement is called feeling the beat. The second one will be the plank. El segundo movimiento será la plancha. Observen el referente de Diana. Correcto. This is our second movement. Great. Moving on, the third one will be rolling to the sides. El tercer movimiento que tenemos es girando hacia los lados. Vamos hacia un lado. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the next movement that we're doing, rolling to the sides. So we go with these little steps in one direction and then the arms as well. There, arm, 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 and arm. Other side, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Your arm, again and again. Great. Moving on, we got kick and cutting the wind. Vamos a movernos ahora con pateo y cortar el viento. So we kick and then to the side, we kick and then we go low, we kick again and then we go to the side. Entonces, para quienes hacen en español, pueden fijarse el referente de Diana, pateo y voy hacia abajo, pateo, voy hacia el lado también, como Diana lo hace. Correcto. Great. Then we got the boxing. The fifth movement will be the boxing. El quinto movimiento es el boxeo. So we go low and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We go lower, then 1, 2, 3, 4. We change to the other side. We go low, 1, 2, 3. Punching in this way. Then we go lower. Vamos más abajo y golpeamos 4 veces como Diana lo está haciendo. Cambian a un lado y al otro. We're good. And then we finish off with marching. Marchando en nuestro lugar. En nuestro propio sitio vamos a marchar. That's it. It's very simple. Muy simple el último movimiento. So those were the premises, and that we will be starting now. There we go. The blank.
First, you know what I came for. I came to sweat. Did I say more? Based on goals, speakers all loud. That's all rocking. Let me see what you about. Give it 100, got a lower amount. I'm moving to the beat and I feel good now. I can get used to this, no doubt. My energy is up and my energy is up and my...
La plancha, el movimiento de la plancha. Good. Now, rolling to the sides. Al otro lado. Next one. Kick. Marching. Side, 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 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boxing. Change. Más abajo. Marching. Faster. A un lado. 3, 4. Otro lado. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kick. Kick. Side. Marchamos. Blank. Plancha. go back to feeling the beat, and we're good.
I can walk through it.
Ok. ¿Cómo les fue? ¿Cómo se sintieron?
How's everybody? How are you feeling so far?
Yeah, it was good. A lot of different exercises and very different feelings when you perform each, and very cool to move to the music. So it's a good warm up and yeah, emotional and bodily warm up.
Okay.
Perfect.
Deanna, I guess I just wanted to insert into the conversation. I'm assuming that this would be very different if you were in a community of movers, like there were different bodies in the space. How is this different online in a virtual space than say in a community setting?
Okay, this was very tricky because normally I really enjoy this part. I'm in Spanish. Esta parte del entrenamiento corporal fue muy diferente en línea que de manera presencial con las comunidades, porque, digamos, lo maravilloso de este entrenamiento corporal es sentir la energía de los otros cuerpos para subir, llevar el cuerpo como calentarlo y explorar diferentes como cualidades de dimensiones, ¿no? Una comunicación no verbal para estar calientes y empezar con nuestro taller. Pero cuando no tenemos eso en un espacio virtual de ese contacto, digamos, de leer esos cuerpos de manera tan directa, entonces, digamos, recurrimos a otro tipo de estrategias como pensar paso por paso, una secuencia muy corta y energética, sí, como para también mantener una energía activa para iniciar la conversación desde el cuerpo.
So this was challenging and different working with the communities, because usually we are working physically, and so we feed on one another's energy, and it is challenging to not have the presence of someone else in there. So to counterbalance that challenge, somehow we have created these more established movements that allow people to follow and to create these small sequences of movement.
Thank you.
Ok. Bueno, entonces espero que ya hayamos calentado un poquito. Ahora sí vamos a entrar a explorar un poquito de una manera más creativa, personal. No me interesa en este momento que nos preocupemos por hacerlo bien o mal o seguirme, sino que vamos a hacer un recorrido por diferentes partes de nuestro cuerpo, y en cada parte de nuestro cuerpo vamos a poner una atención con algunas preguntas que vamos a ir dándoles. Pero la idea es que se lleven y hagan un recorrido muy personal de cómo se siente ese cuerpo y esas partes y esos órganos hoy para cada uno de ustedes.
So after this brief warm-up, now we will be doing a small trip within our bodies. So after warming up, we want you to pay attention to your embodied experience with the detail of each of the parts of your body, and even maybe your organs within your body that have a particular experience.
Perfecto, entonces empezamos con nuestra primera canción, que vamos a hacer un énfasis en nuestros oídos, ojos y nariz, y Jorge nos va a ir indicando algunas preguntas.
So we will be moving on with the first song, which will be focusing on the ears and the eyes, as well as the nose. While doing this song and exploring the movement, we will be given some very brief triggerings or questions to continue with the exploration.
Entonces, oídos y ojos. ¿Cuál es la forma de mi cuerpo hoy?
So here we go, ears and eyes. What is the shape of my body today?
Feel free de moverse y llevar su atención a esas partes.
So feel free to move around, but focusing on your ears and your eyes.
Sobre el turón Magdalena, largo proyecto de mar, isla de luna y arena, gran a la luz solar, isla de y además la luz solar. Verde, negro y verde, verde.
Move freely, paying attention to your ears and eyes. How do they feel?
Verde, negro y verde, verde. La selva elástica y densa, cuando una sueña se pierde, camina y piensa, ondula sueña, se pierde, anda, camina y piensa. Y el boga, boga cansado, y el boga, boga callado, y el boga, boga cansado, boga cansado, boga, y el boga que boga, boga, preso en su aguda piragua, y el remo, rema, rema. Íntegro del agua y el boga que boga, boga, preso en su aguda piragua y el remo, rema, rema. Íntegro del agua.
Now we will shift our attention to our nose.
Sobre el duro Magdalena.
While we keep exploring, try to focus on your nose. Enfócate en tu nariz. Presta atención mientras te estás moviendo a estas partes de tu cuerpo y de tu rostro. While you are moving, please think of your wishes. Why are my wishes useful? ¿Por qué mis deseos son útiles, son válidos? Trata de pensar mientras exploras el movimiento y te enfocas en tu nariz.
Ganado, el boga, boga. Va la gaviota esquemática, con ala breve y sin seca, volando apática. Blanca lagarta esquelética, y el boga, boga. Sol de aceite, un mico duda, si saluda o no saluda, desde tu palo en la alta masa donde quiere salsa y suda. El boga, boga. Ay, qué lejos Barranquilla, vela el caimán a la orilla del agua a la boca abierta. Desde el pez la escama brilla, pasa una vaca amarilla muerta. El boga, boga. El boga, boga.
Now we continue with the next one. Vamos a seguir con la siguiente canción. So now, please, while you're moving freely, pay special attention to the hands and feet. Presta atención a tus manos y a tus pies. Aims and objectives. What are my aims and objectives today? What might be hidden in your hands and feet? Pay special attention. This is connected to your aims and objectives. And we're gonna move on slowly to pay special attention to your elbows and wrists. Keep exploring freely, focusing on elbow and wrist. Ahora presta atención a tus codos y muñecas mientras te mueves. What are the means available to me at my reach? What means do I have to carry out my wishes? And now we are paying attention as well to our thighs and arms. This is connected to what are my capabilities. Voy a prestar atención a los muslos y brazos también. Pensando en mis capacidades. ¿Cuáles son mis capacidades? Now the center of attention is at the heart. What impulse do my desires have? Do I want it or not? Trabajas en tu corazón pensando en el corazón como el centro del movimiento y de a poco también le vamos a prestar atención a la zona del sexo. We move on to pay special attention now to my sex. What is my orientation? Where do my desires go? Keep exploring. Now, we will be mostly focusing on the kidneys and the intestines. Try to do a visualization of those parts of your body. While you move, try to hinge around that. Pienso en mis intestinos. Me enfoco, sigo explorando, pero me enfoco en mis intestinos y en mis riñones. Good. How difficult it is for me to eliminate things from my body or to say no to other people. ¿Qué tan difícil es para mí eliminar desechos de mi cuerpo o decir que no? Continue with your trip, with your inner trip. Now focusing on the liver, which is connected to assimilation. While you keep moving, while you keep exploring, we want you to think of how good you assimilate and understand your fantasies and rights. Sigo explorando, continúo mi exploración y en el camino voy a pensar qué tan bien puedo asimilar o entender las fantasías que tengo. ¿Las proceso, las asimilo o no? For this last portion of the exercise, we will be focusing on the spine. Continue with your embodied trip, focusing on your spine, the outside of your elbows, and your knees. The spine is connected. This is connected to charisma. How do I introduce myself to others? Do I have strength and presence? Continúo enfocándome en mi espina, el exterior de mis rodillas. Esto está conectado al carisma. ¿Cómo me presento ante otras personas? ¿Tengo fuerza y presencia? These very last moments, we will be continuing, but now focusing on your stomach as well. Don't interrupt the movement, but try to focus now on your stomach. What emotions do I feel today? Am I carrying any emotions on my belly? Are they useful? Yes, keep moving freely, now with a special accent on the stomach. Now feel free to recover all of the other parts of the exercise. Please move according to your desires, recovering and summarizing all that you found throughout this exploration. Por favor, muévete libremente, recordando todo lo que hiciste durante toda la exploración, todas las partes de tu cuerpo.
El médico del banco, el ladrón de cuello blanco, el tiburón, ese man es un avión, de Pedro Navaja, ese man si te va, de la mala caña, esa vaina te engaña.
Is there anything else that I have left to explore? Which part of my body I didn't cover before? Try to complete the dynamic, covering your whole body. Todo tu cuerpo ahora, recobra todo tu cuerpo en la exploración. Yes, enjoy your movement, recovering all the parts of that body.
Ok. Maravilloso. Hicimos un recorrido por todos nuestros órganos, activando ciertas preguntas. Y ahora que tenemos esta experiencia corporal calientica, la idea es que cada uno respire, se tome su tiempo para poner en un escrito, en un dibujo, todo eso que surgió en ese explorar a través del movimiento. Emociones, sensaciones, preguntas, de cómo se siente su cuerpo hoy, el día de hoy, en confinamiento.
So we have, that was wonderful. That was a wonderful exploration. And we were doing this.
Jorge?
Yes. ¿Me escuchas?
Ya, ahora sí.
Thank you. So now we, after doing this trip within our bodies, within our organs, within the different parts of ourselves, and since we have the experience so fresh, we want you to please take a moment to breathe and write down, draw maybe, how was the experience for you? How was for you to go through this exercise and maybe the findings that you got?
Entonces, tómense un tiempo muy personal para esa escritura. Vamos a poner una canción para acompañarlos. Y al final de esta exploración, escriban 3 palabras un poco que resaltan de tanto la experiencia del cuerpo como escrita.
So now we will be playing a song for you to wind down and hopefully be able to let the ideas flow on the paper as well. And please be mindful that at the end of your account, choose 3 salient words that could summarize or describe the exploration for you.
Entonces disfruten su escritura creativa o dibujo creativo.
Please enjoy your moment to write or draw creatively.
Recuerden nuestra pregunta orientadora, ¿qué se siente estar encerrados y estar espaciados por estos dispositivos tecnológicos el día de hoy?
Please, while you're doing this exercise, keep in mind the triggering question of how does it feel to be in confinement? how it's been to be isolated and communicating with others through our devices.
Bueno, lentamente volvemos aquí ahora. Espero que hayan disfrutado su momento personal. Ahorita vamos a hacer un ejercicio grupal, entonces es importante que tengan presente lo que acaban de escribir y sus 3 palabras que sobresalen de toda la sesión.
So now we will be moving on to a final activity, which is in groups. And we want you to please keep in mind what you have written down, and especially the 3 words that you have described as salient. That is it.
¿Puedes bajar un poquito la presentación, por favor? Entonces, ¿cuál es la idea? En grupos, cada uno va a compartir lo que quiera de su experiencia, en especial esas 3 palabras o esos dibujos o sonidos que surgen de esta exploración. Y queremos que entre todos creen una escena muy sencilla que reúna una idea general de qué se siente, cómo se siente nuestro cuerpo hoy de estar encerrados.
Yes, so now the way in which we will be working on is in groups, and we want you to please be able to speak and to listen to the other, especially what they have written down, the words they have chosen to describe their experience. And based on that, based on those words, that account, we will be building a collective scene, a very simple scene, in this kind of tableau vivant way. So you can use the resources that are written on this slide to somehow consolidate and to somehow describe how it is to be in confinement today.
Entonces no tenemos mucho tiempo, pero podemos pensar en una escena que tenga un título, un sonido, de pronto un movimiento, si alguno quiere grabar algo, ahí de pronto hay espacio para la imaginación. De nuevo, algo muy sencillo, donde se puedan ver como el aporte de cada uno, y al final es importante que o graben o tomen una screenshot para poder después tener un espacio de socialización con el grupo completo.
Yes, so since we don't have that much time, we will be creating these scenes together, and especially let your creativity run free using these tools or these ideas that we are projecting here. This small or simple scene should have a title. Maybe you can use the sound that you have recorded, or or a sound from your life, your surroundings. You can use corporeal statues, you can use movement, all of that. You can do it as a group to consolidate this idea of the feeling of confinement today.
Gregory me dice que no tenemos mucho tiempo, entonces la idea es que sea algo muy intuitivo. Nos vamos 5 minuticos y lo que salga, y regresamos en 10 minutos, ¿vale?
So please, since we don't have that much time left, work freely and intuitively. Just get together maybe around 5 minutes so that you can just put together a title, a sound, a movement, a photography, a performance, whatever it is that you want to do, and take a screenshot or record it, and so that we can see it afterwards all together.
¿Está claro?
Is everything clear? Does anybody have a question?
Ok. Entonces, vamos a hacer 2 grupos. Nos vamos a nuestros grupos.
Yes, so now since nobody had questions, we will be moving on to the groups. So please accept the invitation that you will be receiving to go into the smaller groups.
Thinking a little bit about how those thoughts made us feel. So our words were a poetic discovery in confinement, I think was our title, and our movement were sort of like in here, and then expanding outwards. And then we had a heartbeat sound that went with it.
Okay, thank you very much. So we came up with this collective idea, and basically these inputs are like the departing point to actually build something, no? To create artistic products or performance videos, or just like different artistic productions where we can put together our embodied experience in different ways, okay? But because we didn't have so much space, that's the idea, no? What about the other group? Who wants to share?
I was trying to wait to see if Graciella was gonna be able to post the picture, but we did a picture.
I'm trying to.
Sorry, not to put you on blast. But ours, we had different words, some really good words, but all similar. So we came up with the title "Pensive Clock," and we all kind of went into like a pose, like representative of that, and she got a good screenshot of it that I hope that she can share, but. Or if not, if later on, maybe if it works, can just send it to you too. But yay! Is it in there?
Wow, great.
This was a photo.
Perfect.
Fantastic. And what was the title again?
Pensive Clock.
Okay.
That's the title.
Very poetic as well. Very nice. Okay.
So, Deanna, I would love for you to, so we are short on time, but as we talk about your work and this idea of decolonization, I really want you to talk a little bit more about your work with embodying reconciliation.
Okay, so I will try to, we don't have that much time, no? Okay, but in Spanish, so it's easier for me.
Okay.
Entonces, bueno, digamos que el trabajo de Cuerpos para la Reconciliación nace de una búsqueda académica de buscar metodologías y actividades que correspondieran.
Be displaced.
Entonces, en este contexto, digamos que la memoria oral y la memoria corporal tiene un lugar privilegiado, ¿no? Como un archivo imborrable donde las personas traen con ellos, pues, como su vínculo con su tierra, su vínculo con los otros, pero también la posibilidad de transformar experiencias complicadas en recursos creativos.
And so, based on within this context, we have tried to focus on the oral and the body memory of these people that are constantly being displaced, because that memory that they have, the oral and the body memory, is an archive that they are carrying with them within themselves, and this is actually the possibility or the resource that we want for them to use to create.
Entonces, en ese sentido, digamos que trabajamos como a partir de 4 pilares fundamentales. Uno es el cuerpo y un poquito esas exploraciones del cuerpo más somáticas, ¿no? De mapear las emociones o preguntas que son diferentes para cada grupo.
So we do have very 4 main pillars that we work with. The first one dealing with somatics, or the experience surrounding the body.
Entonces, a través de esta experiencia somática, digamos que salen herramientas que se hacen visibles, ¿no? Porque muchas veces, cuando ha habido una experiencia traumática, es difícil escribirla o sacarla de primera mano, y entrar en el cuerpo permite, digamos, hacer visibles ciertas como pistas para entender esa experiencia como lo vimos hoy.
So the reason why we are focusing on the semantics and the body is because it is difficult for people to even express for themselves the violent experiences that they have had in the past. That is why we want them to first be rooted in their bodies, to go in their bodies, to find and describe and explore those memories.
Y en un segundo momento, digamos que tratamos siempre que esas experiencias sensibles no se queden abiertas, sino anclarlos a un ejercicio creativo, ¿no? Por supuesto, y no tuvimos tiempo de hacerlo, pero la idea es que con esas herramientas que salen del cuerpo, esas palabras, esos dibujos, esos textos, se pueda transformar en fotografía, en videos, en podcasts, en formas también artísticas de hacer catarsis, básicamente.
So we don't want people to have bleeding wounds after revisiting their violent experience. Quite on the contrary, we are proposing for people to go within their bodies, find this experience, open them up, and the way that we find closure is through art. We want for them to have creative exploration or artistic creation as the final stage of the reason why they are opening this through either photographs or videos or podcasts or different outlets.
Y hemos visto también, digamos, que estas creaciones o intercambios son muy importantes, tanto dentro de las comunidades, pero también en diferentes contextos interculturales, ¿no? Sea de diferentes lugares del país, o sea como la experiencia que tuvimos hoy de diferentes personas que vienen con un background muy diferente.
And we have realized while working on this that this process is not only healthy within the communities themselves, but also in a cross-cultural or even international interconnection between communities.
Entonces, en también de crear puentes entre diferentes experiencias, está el tema de la interculturalidad como un camino también hacia el respeto por el otro, el respeto por los otros cuerpos, el respeto, por la diferencia, ¿no?
So it is precisely in this encounter, in this attitude of creating bridges between communities and between experiences, that we understand that we have cross-culturality as a path to create respect for one another, for the other's body, for the other's experience.
Y finalmente, la categoría que también atraviesa todo nuestro proceso es la memoria, como un lugar privilegiado de enunciar cosas con nuestro cuerpo, ¿no? No como una historia oficial, sino como una memoria que es muy personal en cada cuerpo y que cada persona le da sentido a esa experiencia personal y a su narrativa de una manera muy, muy particular.
So we are the very last pillar that we have, the keyword that we have within our work experience is memory. We are not working with the official memory, but we are interested in raising and shedding light on the multiple embodied memories that are out there. And even though it is not the official memory, as we said before, it is the positionality or the coordinates that inform the place from where people are speaking from.
Y finalmente me gustaría cerrar pues como con una pequeña reflexión que he venido como pensando en estos últimos años y por eso el tema de nuestra sesión. Y es que estas herramientas, digamos, nacen de un contexto muy particular, también como de un trabajo con unas comunidades muy particulares en unos contextos complicados, pero que tienen una aplicación casi que para todos, ¿no? Digamos que siento que hoy en día a todos nos atraviesa una experiencia de que nuestros cuerpos están fragmentados, estamos ante la incertidumbre, ante una nueva realidad, ante pensarnos de una manera muy, muy diferente, ¿no? Entonces creo que ha sido también interesante, bonito buscar esas aplicaciones en el día a día, no tenemos que ir ¿no? como a la mitad del conflicto o la situación más extrema, sino también empezar por nosotros mismos, ¿no? Y las realidades que nos están afectando como sociedad en este momento.
So Diana wants to finish the conversation with a reflection that she's been having for the last year or so. Even though she acknowledges that the work of embodying reconciliation has been done with particular communities and particular contexts, some of them very conflictive and difficult, the tools that have raised from that have the potential to be shared cross-culturally with other people. And even though this, in addition of this being very beneficial, she realizes that we are in this pivotal moment of people wanting to find new ways of being. And these ways is precisely what Diana is interested in, these new ways, these other ways of being present for one another.
Thank you. And I really did want to have one last question before we go. I know we're over, but if Diana could just tie up how her work, how this practice directly plays into her definition of decolonization, decoloniality. How does your work specifically address decolonization?
Para mí, digamos que la palabra o las palabras que resumen como mi trabajo es que la decolonización pasa por la transformación social, ¿no? Y siento que esa transformación social tiene que empezar con una mirada primero personal de cómo están nuestros cuerpos, cómo están nuestras, para poder trasladarla a esa interacción con el otro, ¿no? Y pues por supuesto ahí en esa lectura con el otro, el movimiento y la danza tiene un rol fundamental, pero digamos que lo que cubre para mí la motivación es que debe pasar por una transformación social.
So the way that I am connecting this work with the issue of decoloniality is that decoloniality, according to Diana, is rooted in social transformation. However, you cannot transform anything without the awareness. That is why Diana and her organization are exploring this somatic and these embodied practices so that people can gain that awareness of their own state, who they are, where they are, so that based on that, you can start building transformation.
I think this is a wonderful place to end. Thank you so much, Diana, Jorge. Wonderful engagement and beautiful, rich information to source from. I am really, really excited. I can't wait to see what Lauren pens up from this workshop. I'm super excited. And I just want to tell you, thanks again. We have one more series, one more artist in the series, and that'll be next month. And so I'm going to have Graciella just speak a little bit more about that, and just to wrap us up as we say goodbye and have an amazing rest of your Saturday. Graciella, I turn it over to you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Diana. This was beautiful. And I think something I'm just so excited about in this series is that something that keeps coming up again is this concept of freedom, and what is freedom in the body, and how is freedom showing up in the body. And I think this idea of your practice, locating yourself in the body, locating your awareness is so important. And it's similar to some of the work that I'm doing. So it's exciting. So thank you so much for sharing. And I think our last conversation next month will be with Emmanuel Akujo, who is from Ghana, but has also studied at Temple and other areas in the world. So we'll be bringing a lot of that knowledge with him. And I think it will just be a nice way to wrap up the series and a way for us all to kind of, again, build these connecting points of everyone that's shared so far. So I'm reflecting a lot. I'm excited to put this into my think piece that I'll be writing about stuff. And just every time we come together for these, I learn so much more, but also, again, I'm humbled by the fact that we're all kind of sharing in these wavelengths of like, how do we decolonize? So just thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, everyone.